match number 67 of the Tata IPL 2024. It's between the Mumbai Indians and the Lucknow Super Giants. I have Jian with me. Jian, the two teams, both of them unfortunately have been eliminated. No chances for them to making to playoffs. Starting with the home side, Mumbai Indians. If you can sum it up, how has this season been so far?
I mean, the season already began bitterly when, Hardik was announced the captain in December. It was a very bitter moment for everyone, especially their fans who felt kind of betrayed of what happened. But since then, I think they haven't have been waiting to get on Wankhede and, maybe not support the team too much. But yeah, it is still, but they even started off the tournament very poorly. I mean, they had the chance to beat GT in GT, and that would have been, they would have broken their opening game loss the jinx. And they were in a very commanding position against GT. But then, Mohit Sharma came in and, just took that
Correct.
game away, and they just blew that chance. And then suddenly they started losing against this. They lost so badly against Hyderabad, conceding the 277. They lost to Rajasthan Royals at Wankhede on 1st of April, again losing at Jaipur with the same. So, they didn't have that winning run. They got into a bit of commanding position against Delhi at Wankhede. But apart from that, I didn't really see Mumbai Indians up to their Mumbai Indian standards. As we expect them to come out, win games from the
All
most
guns blazing.
impossible,
Yeah.
impossible situations. I have seen Mumbai winning games. So
Absolutely.
we've
We have all
not
seen.
seen.
And you're saying that Hardik Pandya's captaincy is somehow, and we all can see that on our faces. We all can see in the televisions or be it in the stadium. You have been to the stadium a lot of times. You have said that the home crowds are booing. So as you've just summed it up, the schedule, I'll not waste much of our time. Let's take a look at the journey so far for both the teams. So here it is, starting with the home side, the Mumbai Indians, right at the bottom of the points table with just 8 points. If you can see, there is not much of a green out here just because they're at the bottom of the table. Only four greens, which is 8 points. But out of the losses, you can say, as you were summing it up very nicely, Gian, which game, apart from you said GT game, apart from that, which game they could have potentially had a better chances of winning it? Was it the Kolkata Knight Riders game at the Wankhede Stadium as well?
Before that game, I will highlight the El Clasico of MI CSK. They had a very good chance of restricting CSK, below 200. And when, of course, Thala walked in to bat at 19 in the 20th over, and Hardik giving those slot balls to him, and he smashing those 20 odd runs, and that only proved to be the exact turning point because MI did lose by 20
That
runs.
was the
So
difference.
I Exact difference. That was the exact difference. I mean, yep, that could have been a, I think, game changer if MI restricted because MI got close. Rohit scored 100, but he couldn't get going because he didn't have any kind of support from at the other end. So he had to stick around the entire innings. Apart from that, I think they sneaked a win against Punjab. That also they could have won very convincingly, but getting down, they were Punjab were railing at some 20-25 for four, and then just losing by around 20 odd runs, that is kind of a loss only, I would say, for MI because only Jasprit Bumrah got them back into that game. And again, against Rajasthan Royals, they scored a good they scored a good amount of runs. I mean, Tilak Verma and Nihal Vadera,
Nihal
rescued
Vadera,
them.
yeah.
But again, the Yashasvi Jaiswal was dropped twice off Nihal Vadera only. That could have been a turning point in the match, maybe.
Absolutely.
But so I think, but that drops also costed. So I think, yeah, pretty much I think it was one sided only, according to me. All the so there is a term sink in if you want to win against Mumbai Indians, you do not have to get the game close. You have to seal it and win it one sided. You did not have to get them into the game because people are actually scared. Even if they need around 60 runs in say 25, 26 balls, they
They
are
can do that.
fancy to chase it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So yeah, I think this game is just test their bench. Maybe play Arjun Tendulkar or Shams Mulani or the players who haven't really played for the
Correct.
franchise. So it's just an outing, and I think we should they should rest the key players ahead of the T20 World Cup.
Absolutely, we might see that. But as you summed it up pretty much, Hardik Pandya, we will see what does the owners do. They keep him as the captain? What do they do with Rohit Sharma, Jasprit Bumrah, the icons? Will they leave the franchisee? A lot of things needs to be discussed, but not in the same position. A little bit better, but they are also out. The Lucknow Super Giants. What different they could have done? Last three games, three back-to-back losses, which has potentially put them aside in the race to the playoffs race. But still, KL Rahul has been decent, but is it that they have been over dependent on his performance?
Yeah, I think. I think always they have seen even when KL was in Punjab, he was the highest run scorer every time. He has also, I think, he also won an orange cap if I'm not wrong in one of the season 2020 season, I think. So they rely most of their games on him. Like if he scores, then the Punjab has a chance of getting a good total on board, and maybe even fancy down chasing down 180 190 target. But if he's gone early, then again that pressure comes into the team. So same was maybe happening with Lucknow as well. So if KL didn't get stats, luckily Puran was there to cover it up. Stoinis was there to cover it up. But again, their consistency was not there. They were not finishing those games. Now, the game against Sunrisers Hyderabad, where they lost so massively, that hampered their run rate. If that was a close encounter, maybe would have had a much better run rate and maybe had a even better chance of qualifying. Maybe
Correct.
they could win. They could have won against if the upcoming game against MI today. So they could have easily maybe fancied their chances and get a positive run rate. That would have added more pressure to maybe RCB and CSK both. So again, that comes down to that one particular game. And even I think the game against Rajasthan Royals, the second one which they played in Lucknow, I mean, they had a good chance of they came back into the game to
Absolutely.
win, but then Sanju took it away and,
Sanju has
completely
roam
they
today,
dominated.
if I'm not mistaken.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep, that's correct. So
Okay,
yeah, these
so
kind of games,
a lot of
these
things,
kinds of
but
games have
even
to be
this,
won.
absolutely, I'm sorry to interrupt, Jian, but a lot of games, but even this side as well, with their captain not having a good relation with the owner as well. What do you take of him? Will KL Rahul be retained as the captain for the Lucknow Super Giants in the mega auction?
Very difficult, I think. I mean, after what we have seen, I mean, see, we know these players might be getting some kind of peace of mind from the owners, and rightly so. Obviously, if you're spending that kind of money, you're expected of that kind of you expect that kind of results as well.
Correct.
But then there's something known as professionalism also. Like these things have to happen behind closed doors, whatever. Like
Absolutely.
we are 100% are sure what Mumbai Indians must be also going through, and definitely
But
Hardik
we have
must be
never
going through the
seen
same.
Ambani
We have
stepping
never
onto the pitch.
seen absolutely when these things have to be kept very professionally and behind closed doors, and because these things are very delicate. But even if even if they were talking about something else, maybe the Lucknow owner must be unhappy regarding something else, and the discussion also is something else, but the interpretation can
Absolutely.
be wrong here, and it doesn't make a good impression. So I don't
Correct.
think he should. I don't think KL should stick with Lucknow. I have personal feeling. I think he should return to RCB. I think it will be a good move for him, and they will maybe if Faf retires, so he and Virat
They will
can
need an
open
opener.
next season.
Yeah.
Yep, why not? And even a potential captain as well.
Could be. Absolutely. That can be a very good thing for himself as well. He will not have that burden of performing every single game, but and also he can be the solution of a wicket-keeper batsman. You may not have a Dinesh Karthik, you may not have a Faf Duplessis as well. So that could be a very, very good thing. We're done with the two teams. Let's take a look into the pitch report of the Wankhede Stadium. So a lot of games have been played here. We always see it's a bowler's nightmare. Chasing is the best thing, but last few games we have seen the teams batting first are coming back into the game. Be it the Kolkata Knight Riders game, be it the Sunrise Hyderabad's game. They started off well in the power play. Eventually, it was Sky who pulled things back. So what do you take into if you're given the captain's hat? Definitely chasing, or is it you're thinking twice?
See, if you are Mumbai Indians, you're definitely going to chase first. But again, the teams who are coming in and they are winning after batting first is like literally, challenging Mumbai Indians because defending at Wankhede is one big task. It's one big task. You've seen crazy things happening. The 1000th IPL game where MI chased down that 217 record 217 against RR. That famous 2014 of chasing in 193 runs at 14.3 overs. You've seen big games, chasing. So I think whoever wins the toss should obviously go and chase the total, irrespective of whatever happens. But yep, I think Lucknow would be happy to do both right now because
Okay.
KKR has already done that.
Absolutely. KK has already done that. They have defended targets twice. And I think Mumbai's condition is just that you can fancy your chances at the Wankhede Stadium even by defending. So we are done with that. Let's take a look into the key elements the teams have learned from the previous game. Starting with the Mumbai Indians, they lost at the Eden Gardens once again to the Kolkata Knight Riders. Though what a dream delivery that was from Jasprit Bumrah to Sunil Narayan. He has always
Mhm.
been top class. Piyush Chawla bowled well, but it was one thing. He wasn't given his full quota. Once again, they failed to chase a target. They were cruising in the openers. be it Ishan Kishan, Rohit Sharma. Rohit Sharma struggled, but the way they started off the innings, it looked like they will get onto the target. But then once wickets fell, they fell in regular intervals, and once again it was Mumbai Indians doing Mumbai Indians thing this season.
I'll tell you what happens is Mumbai Indians' main strength was chasing down any kind of a target. So the teams who are playing against them have cracked this puzzle and cracked this maybe kind of say what do you call that, a quiz. Uh, so you get those clues. So they have been able to solve that thing and get into that book. Okay, we know where to target MI and where they are vulnerable. If we know Ishan Kishan and Rohit, even if they get 100 partnership, one wicket and the entire order will crumble. They are not like before. They don't have that finishing touch. They don't get those finishing touches. And if it's like icing on the cake. If they get Surya Kumar out early and Ramandeep out early, then again Tilak Verma will look to get settled in. Tim David has not fired what he was expected to do this
Absolutely,
entire season.
he
Then
hasn't
so
fired a
yeah,
single game.
yeah, absolutely. So I just recollect that I was just before this uh, shoot only. I was just seeing a tweet where they showed the 2020 team of Mumbai Indians. Where they had a perfect balance. I think one of the best teams I have seen on paper, and they had implemented it also, which they won that fifth IPL trophy
Yeah.
in Dubai. I think that was the one of the best team I've ever seen. Absolutely the best and the most balanced side I've ever seen.
Correct, absolutely, and that's the reason why they were champions, 5 times champions. You can take it out, you cannot take it away. But we will see what Mumbai Indians do today in the final game of the season at home. But Lucknow Super Giants as well, nothing to lose. They can also fancy a few chances against the Delhi Capitals. They had a good chance to get the 2 points. Massive collapse with the bat. They lost so many wickets in the power play. Nicholas Puran was slowly starting to take things on his hand, but once again he couldn't get going. Arshan Khan was a good inclusion in this side with bat and ball. He contributed well. But where were these kind of players in the beginning of the season?
See, that's what happens is when you make too many changes or maybe injury hits you. There was Mayank Yadav who came in and he was looking so impressive. Suddenly, he came and he got injured because of his. Obviously, he was bowling at over 155. So that's natural that a young
Absolutely.
bowler bowling so fast and lethal every game is going to be
And the social
an
media
injury
already sent
concern.
him after a couple of games to back to USA.
Absolutely, that was a disaster. It would have been a complete disaster, I think. And so, yeah, I think so. These games, Nicholas Puran tried finishing a few games before where Lucknow won those games. Then suddenly he lost his touch, and then Quinton de Kock hasn't fired the entire tournament, which was a big
Yeah,
surprise to me because honestly, knowing Quinton de Kock and his love for IPL, I really expected him to be in the top three of the orange cap list. So
absolutely.
this is a big,
He's
big
intelligent
surprise to
actually.
me. Absolutely, and yes, and he and KL already had a good partner, like opening pair last season as well. So they did quite well. Quinton, I think I don't know if he had 100, but he had good 4 5 50s in the entire
In this
tournament.
season?
Gave good starts. Yes,
In this
two
last
thousand.
season, yes. Last season, I am not sure he got 100, but he got a lot of runs. He has
Yes,
50.
he did get a
But
lot of
but my
runs.
question has been this season, if Quinton de Kock has not been getting runs, they tried Arshin Kulkarni. Where is Kyle Mayers? He hasn't been getting
Absolutely, I have no. I am absolutely shocked because Kyle Beers wasn't included for a single game, and he even bowls. Those opening overs gets you those wickets, gets you that. But again, maybe knowing Lucknow, they already have a lot of bowling options. But still, Kyle Beers they could have easily tried, and by resting
absolutely.
Quinton for a game, and Quinton wasn't even keeping. He just kept last game. So that was
Correct.
also one of the question marks that why wasn't Kyle Mears played? You have that opening slot role. And again, a big, big fail and a big, big misery was Devdutt Padikkal for a trade
Yeah.
from Rajasthan Royals. So, the same problem what we faced since the last 2 seasons because Devdutt Padikkal is an opener. He had opened with RCB and we had seen the result, scored so many runs for them. He played at number 4 for us, didn't get too many runs and he couldn't fire. The same problem happened with Lucknow Super Giants. I don't know why did they even get him in that first place when they had so many opening options already. You know,
And they traded Avesh Khan in behalf of him.
Absolutely, and Navesh Khan is proving kind of handy to RR. He won them 2 3 games at the Tech also, and he's bowling quite good. As it was not that expected that because we were expecting Navesh Khan to go pretty expensive in those games and not get wickets, but he's been bowling quite reasonably well.
Absolutely. So a lot of things to be looked into, but we are done with the LSG as well as Mumbai Indians key learnings. Let's take a look into the top 3 players to watch out for. Here are the 3 players I've chosen for both the sides. For the Mumbai Indians, it's Rohit Sharma, Naman Dheer, and Kamboj. And for the Lucknow Super Giants, it's KL Rahul, Marcus Turnis, and Nicholas Puran. 6 players. at the Wankhede Stadium. Any changes? Any other player you want to add amongst these six players, please?
There's one player, obviously, this comes without debate, is Jasprit Bumrah against KL Rahul.
I think I'm not having him playing this game. Unfortunately, that's the reason why I do not have him in the players to watch out
Yeah, I
for.
can say that. I can say that. Then I think, see, I wouldn't have been to have Rohit, but again, if you think about it could be his potential last game at Wankhede as a Mumbai
Yeah,
Indian player, so maybe fancy a chance. But again,
absolutely.
there are speculations and reports coming that Rohit and Hardik both might not play this game, and maybe Bumrah could lead the side. That is what I am hearing. So
Okay,
I have no idea how true is that. And
okay,
yeah, KL Rahul also has 200s against Mumbai Indians in 2022. I think I remember very clearly, and he has a good track record against them. So I think if Bumrah isn't there, I think I fancy good amount of runs for him on today. And yeah, I think it should have a good game. And I think I'll go for Ravi Bishnoi also because we know how
okay.
lethal this guy can be, and Wankhede can be a potential turning track, and it could benefit him as well because if Piyush Chawla, a good legend, like
Yeah,
legendary spinner, has done quite reasonably well, and we know
correct,
even Yuzvendra Chahal when he visited Wankhede, he
correct.
took 3 over 3 for 12. So Bishnoi, no, I'm not taking he had an off season this year, but you can't take him off. You know what he can do, and of course it's a return again. Maybe again a return for Krunal Pandya playing against his own like own brother, his
Absolutely.
own former side. So yeah, he also loves playing at Wankhede. He has finished games at Wankhede, so he could be a potential threat to them.
Okay, he can potentially be a threat to his own brother. We might see that. But let's take a look into the top three battles in this game. Here are three battles. I have chosen Rohit Sharma versus Mohsin Khan, Ravi Bishnoi versus Surya Kumar Yadav, and Kamboj versus KL Rahul. Any changes? Any other battle you want to see out of these three, please?
I think I would go for Piyush Chawla versus Surya Kumar Yadav.
Is their
Sorry,
own
my bad.
player?
My bad. uh, I think Piyush Chawla will go for Marcus Stoinis. I think
Okay, fine.
vulnerable to spin, but yeah, I think I fancy that thing. And Piyush Chawla against that LSG middle order, which is a bit, I will not say weak, but very vulnerable. But
Yeah.
I will also want to watch, a potential Deepak Huda batting against the Mumbai Indians bowlers. That guy can, hit out of the park. He's not had a very good tournament, but I've seen a few games what he played. He got good 250s, and with his help, Lucknow has some stable and decent scores. So I
But
feel
he's batting,
Deepak
I
Huda
think
could
he's batting at number five or number six. That's too low, in my opinion, for him.
do low, but again, if LSG get a collapse, say if they are 24-3 or 24-4 in those, for 5-6 overs, he comes, stabilizes, and gets a good partnership along with maybe Stoinis or someone. So I think it could be of major because we know Lucknow Super Giants have a good batting depth. There's Ayush Badoni who comes at number 6 or 7 sometimes. So you know what where like till where till they can bat. So I think Deepak Huda could be a man to watch out for actually.
Okay. Player to watch out for. Deepak Huda for Jihan says for the Lucknow Super Giants. We're done with the battles. Let's take a look into the most important, which is the predicted playing 11. Starting with the Mumbai Indians, they have nothing to lose. So I've made a few changes here and there, which is firstly Arjun Tendulkar is part of my playing 11. No Tim David, Romario Shepherd is part of my playing 11, as well as no Jasprit Bumrah. So I think Kamboj starts for me, leads the pace attack alongside Thusara as well as Romario Shepherd. Any changes for you? Who else do you want to see a part of this? I also have a Naman Dheer who is not playing as an impact player, but playing into the regular 11.
I feel this 11 can be played definitely because you need to rest Bumrah. I think if you ask me, there is no need to even play Surya Kumar for this game. You don't need to rest because he's not been fielding for many games. He came late into the tournament. He came in as an impact sub,
Correct.
and he was not fielding for a lot of games. He was just fielding. I remember he fielding against KKR at Wankhede.
In the last
So
two games, he has been fielding because Rohit has been the impact player.
yeah, so they are rotating. So I personally feel if Rohit is playing and if he's being used as an impact player, I personally feel Surya Kumar should be rested for this game. He should not be rested because we need him for that T20 World Cup. Because if we are resting Jasprit Bumrah, because they are the two key players who are needed for the Indian team. So I feel they're
And
pretty balanced side.
Mumbai Indians play last two games. Mumbai Indians played with just two overseas. So if you drop
Yes.
Surya, automatically you have a Deval Brevis out there.
Yes, they do have Deval Previs out there, and it was a bit shocking to me that they played just two overseas. I mean, they could have easily
Exactly.
used Deval Previs, and good player, good talented player, didn't get a lot of opportunities, and they trusted a lot in Tim David. But I think yeah, it was unfortunate, and I think I agree with this. Tim David, maybe out and get Romario Shepherd in, because even if he
Correct.
doesn't bowl, if even if you don't want to bowl him, that's fine. But even he can get you those handy runs.
Very
What he did against Wankhede against the Delhi Capitals.
Absolutely. Nightmare for Enric Nokia, to be honest. But that's the playing 11. You're agreeing as well for the Mumbai Indians. For the Lucknow Super Giants, has to be Kyle Mayers at the top of the order as the opener in place of Quinton de Kock. Apart from that, stays the same. Mohammad Arshan Khan has performed well in the last game. He keeps his spot. Any changes for you, Gian?
Kunal Pandya, Krishna. I think no. I think it's a pretty good 11. I think this can be a winning 11 also, and I think Karshin Kulkarni. I think guy hasn't been been it's very unfortunate. The guy has been gotten out on zero twice. So
Correct.
we have not seen what he can do. But yes, it's again given the situation. I mean, if LSG are batting first, maybe they could have a potential bowler coming in, and
Correct.
they could maybe Navinullah could get an about. Navinullah is already there. So yeah, let's see how
Naveen
they
is
did the
there. They
batting
have
first.
three
Maybe
overseas out here as well.
yeah, maybe Naveen can be that impact sub in that if they are batting first.
Correct.
So something like that. But yeah, it's a good
Okay.
11. I think I fancy this 11 over Mumbai Indians as of now.
Okay, you fancy this 11 over the Mumbai Indians? Should be a good battle. What's the weather conditions out there, Gian, before we move
Uh,
on to the
so
prediction?
today evening, it was quite overcast, and I was expecting it to be raining. But tomorrow also is predicted to be quite overcast. I don't know if there is a bit slight of rain or no, because the weathers are very unpredictable, and we are known that the games are going to be potentially rain affected now, henceforth going forward. But I feel easily it should be a bowler's paradise tomorrow. The teams should
Okay.
easily chase after winning the toss. So I think tomorrow it's like the whoever wins the toss has to bowl first. Any day they have to make use of those
Has to bowl.
conditions.
Okay, chasing is what the ploy is for today's game, says Gian. But let's take a look into the predictions time now. Here is match number 67, Mumbai versus Lucknow Super Giants, a huge game. Just because of pride, I must rather say that. Just to finish things off in a good note, where are you heading towards, Gian? Is it the home side? Is it the away
As I
side?
said, as I just said that Lucknow, I fancy that edge. I'll take the prediction to 51-49 to Lucknow Super Giants.
51-49 to the Lucknow Super Giants.
Just
Is
because
that
that
changing
11
after
looks a
the
bit
toss?
more balanced. Because
Okay.
there is no Jasprit Bumrah in that 11 of Mumbai Indians.
Okay, that gives an additional advantage to the opponents just because there's no Bumrah. I understand that. Thank you so much, Gian. Thank you to all the viewers who have watched this video. It's the final game for these two sides at the Wankhede Stadium, MI versus LSG. Sit back and enjoy. As Gian reported, no rain interruptions for this game at the Wankhede Stadium. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe to the Fifth Umpire. Press the bell icon as well. Till then, thank you so much and bye bye.